What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy AshTheMan. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, in this video, I want to go ahead and talk about Dragon Ball Super new arc, and it opens up new possibilities. And that's the whole purpose of this, is to talk about what can we expect, or what mainly I think is going to be possibilities in which is going to happen for the future of Dragon Ball. Now, as we all know, we left off on Dragon Ball Super with the Tournament of Power ending and Goku not being able to tap into the Ultra Instinct with him and Vegeta is having a bout in a little sparring. Now, in course of time, we end up getting the Dragon Ball Super movie, which was the Broly movie. We got a chance to see the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta going against a fully new form Broly. Now, movie went out with a hitch and everything, and I'm pretty sure fans alike is like, man, one of the best movies that Dragon Ball Z ever dropped. And that is true, in my opinion. You don't usually get a great Dragon Ball Super movie, but guess what? We got one. Now, in terms of this, we need to see what's next for Dragon Ball Super and what may be the next thing we have to, expect from the series. Is they going to still continue with Dragon Ball Super? If they're going to have some type of new saga, or if they're going to rewrite GT? There's a lot of things coming up there. But so glad to actually do this video because we actually got a new arc. It's called the Galactic Patrol Saga, in which this saga revolves around a villain named Meryl. And just so that we can go a little bit more into it with it, now Meryl is this guy. Now, as you're looking at the screen here, let me make it full for you. This is Meryl right here. This guy. Apparently, Meryl is this wizard who's able to absorb life force from planets and make the power his own. Now, he came out in recent chapters in the manga, but it has yet to be, transferred into an episode. So as of right now, we really don't know if they're going to take everything from the manga, because with the Dragon Ball Super manga and the regular, animated shows, it's always some type of difference. It's always a difference from how they did the episodes and how they did. The outcome is the same, but the context is different. So if you need to know more about that, I would just say you can kind of read over a few chapters and you will see how is it different, how's the way out. And sometimes the manga can go to a little bit more detail, vice versa. But this is the new villain, the Meryl. And the reason I'm pointing him out first is because the new villain is somebody we have to do some history on. And he's a villain that appeared 10 million years ago, in which the Kaio, which is this guy, he ended up fighting Meryl, in which he used majority of his godlike power to imprison him and strip him of majority of his powers. Now, in this bout, we all know that it was some time ago, which the Kaio fell victim to Majin Buu and became the Fat Buu that we all know and love. But him and the South Supreme Kai was fighting Meryl, and the battle was raging on. And he used a technique that he's only able to use, seal him and imprison him. So that's how Meryl came about. Now, in his recent times, he broke out. The Galactic Patrol ended up going to planet Earth and ended up taking Majin Buu. Since he absorbed the Kaio, he must know the technique. Now, they ended up taking Goku and Vegeta because, of course, with them being as strong as they may pose potential help and re-imprison Meryl, or mainly just trying to kill him. But either way it goes, he's a big threat. Now, in terms of this, we have to consider some factors here. And I want to touch more on Meryl because a lot focuses around him and which possibilities comes up. Now, of course, this is his appearance. And if we go down to here to look at some of his abilities, this is all the techniques and special abilities that they have. He have flight, ki blast, ki sense, awareness, telekinesis, psychic rock throw, and psychic javelin. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Energy absorption. He is able to gather all of the life of the planet into an energy ball which he can't consume, making him stronger than before. And while fighting an opponent, he is able to simply drain their energy without even the opponent being aware, basically. And Rose is capable of solving key blast of Kai. Now, with this energy absorption, it exposes him to eternal life, which he is able to increase his lifespan by draining the lives of others, seamlessly without end. However, for what they are saying, he will eventually die if he kept from the source of energy. But for him to be in prison for 10 million years and he still hasn't died, that just tells you like what we can expect of him and absorbing planetary energy or life force in some sense for it. Now, planetary life energy manipulation, thanks to his magic, he is able to manipulate life energy of the planet he is on for offensive and defensive uses, such as appearing as a thermal pillar. He is capable of doing this until the planet he is utilizing runs out of energy. Electric shock, magic scanning, and this one is called Ruthless Bow. Marrow pierces the target torso with his arms used to kill the Kai, the making the savior. They call that a relentless blow, but when I read the chapter, it was just him sticking his arm out, so I'm not even sure that's like a technique or anything like that. But in the terms of this, mainly things we need to focus on is the three right here: energy absorption, eternal life, and planet life energy manipulation. Now, I got a chance to read over the chapters of it, and seeing that Mero is able to absorb planetary energy, he's able to use the energy against his opponents. He is able to absorb his opponent's energy. Now, seen that firsthand, and he literally wiped the floor with Vegeta, then later Goku. Now, it looked like Vegeta had an upper hand in the fight, and when he used the planet to his advantage, he only had a window of maybe a minute or two and was able to absorb that much energy. Now, when I mean that much energy, villagers was affected, Goku and Vegeta energy was absorbed, some of the planet energy was absorbed too. This little ball he was able to absorb and gain the upper hand and knocking him out. Now, in this little picture right here, you seeing this image where it looks like a more, younger and prime version of Mero. After he beat them up and absorbed the remainder energy that they had, this is the form he took. He got a shorter beard. His horns look like they went in a more like prime form. I mean, have you ever seen like a goat or something like that? When their horns is bent backwards, I guess that tells how younger they are. I'm not even going to question that. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, but he's more muscular and more in shape now. So it tells you how much of a threat Mero can be if he was able to beat them. And it wasn't like they was going easy on Mero or anything like that. Vegeta actually went Super Saiyan God Red, and then he went Super Saiyan God Blue after he got some intel from him, and was literally getting the upper hand of Mero. Mero just took the fight when he absorbed the energy. So it just shows you he basically is strong as shit. Now, what can we take from this and the possibilities of what can happen with Dragon Ball Super? Now, Dragon Ball Super, everybody is expecting it to premiere back in June or July or even August. I'm giving it to like around like October, November, because that's when kids are back in school. And people's going to be in the house as vacations goes on, so people was tuning in to watch more TV. Only makes that sense of why TV and television usually go out of season around, towards the end or in summertime. So with that being said, we are expecting this anime. Well, y'all may be expecting, due to a lot of people who usually diagnosed it around like June or July, maybe August. I'm expecting it around the fall time, and that's my opinion. Now, with that being said, with this guy being the main villain and the things that they need from this to get this guy down, there's numerous possibilities. But in terms of this, we only really need to focus on certain things. Now, one possibility: Super Saiyan God could be lost. Now, this is a possibility that comes up in the same, like in this comic book article, where they are saying that could be a possibility. And it's a nice thing to mention, because if he's able to absorb energy, and it took godly-like energy to seal him or to imprison him, then it would make sense of why we may need to consider the fact that the creators might want to get rid of Super Saiyan God, and may think of like, why would they want to do that? Well, it could be a possibility that they may want to focus more on the Saiyan roots, and that means going to just a Super Saiyan form, just going by the levels. Super Saiyan 4 was never a bad form. It was just a series of GT that was bad. So they could be wanting to focus on that. Now, another thing I'm thinking is going to happen is that we're going to lose the new Namek, because in this latest chapter of Manga, chapter 46 of Dragon Ball Super, he already went, like, them being asleep for 3 days, he already went through 3 villages and got 3 Namek Dragon Balls, and I'm working on the 4th one. So after he work on the 4th one, that leaves 3. So he's already doing that. And then if he wants to, he could absorb the planet at any time. He could have been while they was asleep. They said that he can absorb it at an astonishing rate. And seeing that how he absorbed Goku and Vegeta's power, which they can go Super Saiyan God Blue, and of course he can use his Kaioken, Vegeta being able to go deeper blue, he can absorb a lot of power. So everybody just hanging on a whim here. So, and then it's arc scaling too. One of the things I really hope that is a possibility too is arc scaling. And what I mean by this is that the previous arcs never really captivate on a dark edge in the saga. And what I mean about that, like, if you pay attention to like all of the Dragon Ball Z arcs, it's always like it always revolves around a lot of people dying. Like, you always seen a lot of people bite the dust, or like maybe the main person bites the dust or something like that. Hell, the Cell Saga, the Cell Saga, I said Cell Saga, but the Cell Saga, we seen a lot of crazy things in that, to where people was getting, like, energy was getting absorbed by androids, Cell absorbing humans, which was dark as hell, him absorbing humanite android, which was 17 to 18, and gained an additional power. Goku biting the dust by transporting an exploding cell to the Kai planet of King Kai and end up exploding. Trunks biting the dust for a bit when he got shot through the chest. That's a lot. And then adding on the things that happened on planet Namek, hell, the Mechians almost went extinct thanks to Frieza. And on top of that, Vegeta bit the dust for a bit. Krillin did. Oh man, and Piccolo almost bit the dust again. And then when it comes to the Buu saga, oh man, Buu then took out everybody on a planet and blew up the planet. He did probably took about 10 planets when he was looking for Goku and Vegeta. So yeah, I think that they should add a little bit more dark to it, and that fades into what I said the second time, the loss of New Namek. We need that kind of dark back to the series, just to give suspense. We need it. Dragon Ball Super needs it, because the Tournament of Power just didn't have it to me, if you ask my thing. And that comes with the tendency too of like adding the atmosphere of changing. The atmosphere of changing, what I am saying is that even though, any core Dragon Ball fans really is not too fond of the Dragon Ball heroes, but the Dragon Ball heroes had this prison arc, which released a lot of villains. But when the series started off, they talked about this evil Saiyan named Kumbar. Now, Kumbar is the evil Saiyan that uses some type of evil Saiyan energy. They fused him with Vegito, and they wasn't even able to stop him. Now, in course of that, they had some type of baby twins, which baby from GT, but they look like he had some type of twins in there, and more villains that I didn't know about, and then even a return villain, which was Zamas. Basically, all of them escaped and escape from that prison. Now, with this one dealing with Merle escaping from the galactic controlled prison, maybe they can combine the two and create something really interesting. Maybe some type of, like, Galaxy Wars among Dragon Ball Super or something. Don't let this slip away from that. Because we really do need something fresh. And this whole like galactic saga with Merle is fresh. But let's not stop there, and let's take it to a new height. Over and all, I think with all this information, we could say that the series need to add a new plot, new atmosphere, which they're doing good with a brand new arc that is definitely brand new. But they need to capitalize on the change to improve the series, to develop and have a creative, idea here to create something that we all going to like and love. Give us more than just one main villain and everybody's trying to beat this main villain. Give us a ton of them. Like, let's just do it the right way so that we can always keep Dragon Ball Super around. I mean, I don't want the series to do bad. I definitely want it to do good, but at the same time, don't let this pass you. So that's what I wanted to talk about. The Dragon Ball Super, new arc, new villain, new possibilities. So with that being said, I just want to thank you guys here to hear me rant about this Dragon Ball Z info to kind of provide to you guys. Some probably have already read it, but just by you stopping by just to hear me on my opinions, definitely appreciate it. If you could subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit that notification button. I would appreciate all the support and everything from this. And again, my name is Ash the Man. I'm out.